What is up, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Ball. A big welcome to this video, a video that I'm hoping will create a lot of discussion in the comments. Probably some disagreements, a lot of agreements, hopefully, but an interesting video nonetheless. I saw an interesting article from a few well-respected journalists saying that Gerrard is quite keen to use the free agent market, thinking that he can bring in proven players for obviously no cost apart from their contract and bring in winners. So I thought I'd do a little bit of research, a little bit of time. I spent a little bit of time getting this one together, and come up with top 10 free agents that Aston Villa could sign. Some of them are going to create some controversy. I know that. I'm not saying that we should go out and sign all 10 of them. I just picked 10 that I thought were quite interesting to go through, which is exactly what I'm going to do in this video. So sit back, grab a drink, grab a nice cup of coffee, a nice cup of tea, couple of rich teas. Let's get into the top 10 free agents that Villa could sign this summer. So kicking it off, number one is actually someone who I would strongly love if we signed, and that is Christian Eriksen from Brentford. Came back from his collapse on the pitch playing for Denmark. He has been a revolution for Brentford in that midfield this season. He is only 30 years of age, played 11 games for Brentford this season, scoring 1 goal and getting 4 assists along the way. Main positions being centre mid, cam and left mid. And look, we know what Christian Eriksen can do, guys, from his Tottenham days, from his days over in Inter Milan, a proven winner. What happened to him was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. But the fact that he's come back from it seemingly stronger and better than ever, I think is just an ode to the player that he is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying maybe we sign Eriksen and he comes in and starts every game. But there is a player that will run for 90 minutes, give you everything that he has on the pitch, and is technically brilliant. I think we'd be fools to not even consider trying to bring him in. He can give you 30 plus games off the bench. He can give you 30 plus games in the starting lineup. A proven top 6 player, a proven winner, a proven class player. I think this would be an absolute no-brainer and would absolutely strengthen our midfield something rotten. It really would. It would strengthen our midfield so much. I could just not see too many downsides to this one personally. Maybe his wages will be a bit high, but you don't think Brentford are going to be paying him through the odds. There is a little bit of interest around him from sort of Tottenham and a few other top 6 teams as well. So there would be competition for him because of how well he's played when he's come back for Brentford. But if we could get this one done, I just see it as an absolute win. Next up, we have Jason Denayer, formerly of Manchester City, now of Lyon. He's a 26-year-old centre-back, Belgian, I believe he is. In League One this season, he played 15 games, scoring 3 goals and getting 1 assist, which is a pretty good record for a centre-back, actually. Has struggled with injury problems in the past, but again, Champions League player, played in Europe, came from Manchester City Academy. I'm pretty sure he fills in for Lyon as their captain sometimes as well. Clearly a talented player, but now this is the big but. Obviously, we've signed Diego Carlos. We've got Mings and Konsa still at the club. If we get Denayer in, he's 26 years old. He's going to be looking for a club where he can start every single game in a top league. And will he want to come down from a team that's competing in the top 4 of their league consistently pretty much every season to a team that, there's no guarantees that Villa are going to finish top half of the table next year? It's a big risk. I don't really think he'd come to Villa, but I thought it'd be an interesting one to throw in there. See what you guys think. If anyone watches the French league more than I, which is probably 2 games a season, you've watched it more than me, then please do give me a little bit of an insight in him. Again, there's some interest around, I think, from top La Liga clubs around him, but I thought it would just be an interesting choice because he's quite young, only 26 years old, and we can get him on a free young centre-back. Maybe. Next up, one that I think would actually be a really good signing if we were able to pull it off. That is Belotti. Andrea, I think his first name is Andrea Belotti, from Torino. 28 years of age, so in his prime. In Serie A last season, played 22 games, scoring 8 goals and getting 1 assist. He plays as a centre forward. There's always interest in Belotti from sort of like United, Arsenal, these top teams. We were linked with him a couple of seasons ago. He is now finally a free agent at the end of this season. A fantastic servant over for Torino in the Serie A, a proven goal scorer, a goal scorer at a high level as well in a top league. There is going to be interest around him from a lot of big teams, I can only assume. His overall record in the league for Torino is 100 goals in 232 games. He's played 43 times for Italy. Torino's captain. he won the he was in the squad, sorry, that won the Euros in 2020. Proven winner, proven top class player. Again, wages would be an issue. Competing with other teams that could probably offer him Europe is going to be an issue. But I can't really see too much of a downside. If we're going to go over Luis Suarez, who might pop up later, he's 35. Belotti's 28. He can play on the wing if we really need him to. He's quick, good finisher, intense. He brings that Italian passion. I don't know. If we could get it done, I don't think it would be too bad personally. But let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, next up we have our first proper controversial one. Jesse Lingard of Manchester United, 29 years of age, although everyone seems to still treat him like he's 19. He's the player that never ages. Last season in the Premier League, 16 games, 2 goals and 0 assists. Obviously coming from the spell for West Ham a couple of seasons back where he put some energy into that team I didn't even know they could have, and they've carried that on, to be fair to them. Mainly plays as a cam, but can play left wing, right wing. In his prime, you know, there are issues around him off the pitch and his attitude off the pitch, but they're not confirmed to me. I don't really follow Manchester United, so would he be a good influence for the dressing room? I don't know. But an interesting player nonetheless. You know, this is an England player, a Manchester United player, a player who, you know, recently came into a team that were in a similar position to ours and absolutely fired them to a place that we didn't really think they could go to. And look how they've carried on from there. He's won pretty much everything, you know, Europa League, FA Cup, Community Shield, EFL Cup. You know, he's a winner. Let's not get us wrong, 149 league games for Manchester United overall. Scored 9 goals in 16 games for West Ham on loan. 32 England caps. His wages might be an issue. He's probably trying to cover his losses from his failing clothing brand. But when he's on it and when it's his day, he is a good player. There's no denying that at all. Look at what he done for West Ham. It'll be an interesting one if we did. I think there's probably a little bit too much baggage that comes with it. But he's definitely one I'd like to hear your opinions on down in the comments below. Next up, we have the elephant in the room, Luis Suarez. I've never seen our fan base so divided on whether we should get a player in. I've never seen journalists so divided. Literally, like a tier 1 source is saying one day that he's not coming. Then another tier 1 source the day after is saying, actually, we're looking at doing the deal. So I just don't know what is going on with Suarez. He's 35 years old, obviously coming from Atletico Madrid. His La Liga record last season, he played 35 games, scoring 11 goals and getting 3 assists from the striker position. Now, you look at it, he's played like an equal amount as any of these other free agents. Some of them you'd look at and be like, oh, yeah, I'll take him. You know what I mean? Like, Eriksen only played 11. Denayer's 26 and he played 15. Belotti only played 22. So yes, age is a factor. He's 35 years old. There's no getting around that. He's clearly not the player that he was when he was 29, 28, 27. But this is Luis Suarez. Probably one of the best number 9s over the past 10 years that football's ever seen. He has won everything. 69 league goals in 110 games for Liverpool. 147 goals for 190 in 191 for Barca. 32 in 67 for Atletico. He's literally won everything. Like, you go through his honours. He won the Primera Division back in what club would that have been for? That would have been for Nacional, which I assume is back in Uruguay. He won the Eredivisie. With Liverpool, he only won the Football League Cup, but we know how good he was for Liverpool. They just were struggling with a bit of a bad squad at the time. He's won La Liga 4 or 5 times, one of those being with Atletico Madrid after he left Barcelona. He's won the Copa del Rey, Champions League, Super Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, Copa America with Uruguay. He was in the All-Star team in the FIFA 2010 World Cup. He's won countless golden boots over the years in all of the different leagues that he's played in. Even if it's to bring him in and counterpart some knowledge onto our younger players, I think it could be good. He'd have to take a massive pay cut. There's no way around that. But would he take that pay cut to come back and spend his twilight years in the Premier League with Steven Gerrard? I don't know. There's obviously a lot of baggage that comes with him because he's done some questionable things in the past. But he is, again, one that I want to hear your guys' views on in the comments. I hope you guys can go through all 10 and give me your views because this is an interesting video. Next up, we have one that seemed like a dead cert, with reports coming out that Gerrard said to move heaven and hell to get him in. That is James Tarkovsky from Burnley, 29 years old, played 35 games last season at centre-back, getting 1 goal and getting 2 assists for Burnley. So he's probably their top assister last season, knowing how they play. Again, I would be quite happy if we got Tarkovsky in, actually. yes, he's 29, so he's in his prime. Would we be able to guarantee him that he's going to play 38 games starting? Probably not. But, you know, we're on the up. Burnley obviously gone down. I don't know. I can't really see the negatives to him. He's an England player. Everyone was raving about him a couple of years ago, and then as soon as he gets linked with Villa, he's the slowest, worst centre back on the earth. And considering we've been linked with Ben Mee, who's also a free agent, who's not included in this video, I do not want Ben Mee anywhere near Aston Villa. I'd much rather we go for Tarkovsky. I think he's still a top quality centre back, and he can bring Premier League experience. I think he's got over 200 Premier League games under his belt. Knows how to stay in the league if that is where we go next season for some weird and wonderful reason. He knows how to grind out clean sheets at Burnley under Sean Dyche. Again, I can see it as a positive one, this one for me. And now we get into a few interesting ones to finish off the video. First off, Dan Axel Zagadou from Borussia Dortmund, 22 years of age. He's a young player. Played 15 games in the Bundesliga last season, registering no goal contributions. And he mainly plays centre-back, but can cover left-back. So, like we've been looking at Calvin Bassey for 25 million, we could get Dan Axel Zagadou for $0 Great British dollars. I don't know why I said it so weirdly. $0 Great British dollars. Coming from a top team in Borussia Dortmund. He's won stuff in the past. He's an exciting young player. I think he has struggled with injury throughout his career, which could be a bit of an issue. Possibly why they might not be renewing his contract. But, you know, like I say, he's 21 years of age. He's represented the France under-21s. He has 67 appearances. He's 6'5", so he's a big, imposing player like Mings. I don't know. I could see it as a decent one. He's come from PSG as well. So he's clearly, I mean, when players go from like PSG Academy straight to Borussia Dortmund, you know they've got something about them. He could just need a new start. He could just need a new start. We don't know. It's a bit left field. We haven't been linked with him or anything. I just saw that he was a free agent, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to throw this one in the video. It could be an interesting one. He can play centre-back and left-back, positions that we need to cover still. Why not? Next up, we have Isco from Real Madrid, confirmed to be one of their few that they have let go. Played 14 games, registering 1 goal and no assists, mainly from the cam position, but he can play left mid as well. 30 years of age, so he is getting a little bit older, but Isco is a class player. Let's not get it twisted, man. Have you seen this guy on the ball? The ball sticks to his feet. It's amazing. I've never seen a player like it. Well, obviously I have seen a player like it, but he is so good. I think at the moment, again, some top clubs are after him, the Chelseas and Romas of the world. But, could you imagine? 246 league games for Real Madrid, 38 games for Spain. Oh, baby. Could you imagine if we announced Isco? That would be absolutely crazy. And he'd be a player that could fire us towards the top 10. I have no doubt about it. Such a silky player, so good on the ball. An eye for a pass like you wouldn't believe. It is a pipe dream. I don't think he'd ever come to Aston Villa. But imagine if he did, though. Next up, one that a few Villa fans have been torn on Twitter already. I've seen that, and that is Gareth Bale, 32 years of age. He is coming on to his twilight years now. However, only played 5 games in La Liga last season. Now, you look at that and you think, oh, God, he got 1 goal, no assists. Still right wing, left wing, and centre forward being his main positions. Recently received an MBE, I think today or yesterday. But, you know, you look at it, 2020 to 2021 season, he came on loan for Tottenham and scored 11 goals in 20 games. Like, the guy can still do it. He's still pretty much single-handedly dragging Wales to every World Cup and Euros going at the moment, with so many important goals for them. He's a free kick expert, which is something that we are missing at Aston Villa at the moment, someone who can bang in free kicks. Yes, his wages are going to probably be extortionate, but if we build him like his own golf course near Birmingham, we could probably halve his wages. You know, all we have to do is build an 18-holer and give it to him. But, you know, without, you know, it would be a risk signing someone like Gareth Bale. He hasn't played consistent football in about 3 years now. Is his head still in the game at club level? It seems like his head is mainly in the game at international level. But is that just because he has had a bad experience at Real Madrid over the past few years? Could we bring him in and reignite a flame under him that gives him 2 more fantastic years? You know, look at Di Maria. He's like 35 and still doing it for PSG. He is a free agent, not in this video. Don't worry. I think it's pretty much confirmed he's going to go to Inter. But, you know, we could light a fire under him and he could be a decent little player. His wages would be extortionate. We'd have to get him to take a pay cut. But an interesting one to discuss, I think, personally. And let's be honest, everyone moans about it on Twitter, but if we tweeted out tomorrow that we'd sign Gareth Bale, we'd all love it. And last but not least, probably a bit of a feel-good story to leave this video on. Someone we were linked with a little while back before the unfortunate events that unfolded. But that is David Brooks of Bournemouth. As far as I can tell, his contract is not going to be renewed and he's not going to be a Bournemouth player as of the 30th of June 2022. He's 24 years old, played 7 games, getting 1 goal and no assists. He mainly plays right wing, but can also fill in as a second striker or a centre forward. We all know what happened to this guy. He was showing so much promise and potential for Bournemouth. He looked like such a baller. And then unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer. Now, it has come out recently. Thank God he is cancer-free and he is ready to get back to full fitness and play football at a top level again. Let's not forget what this guy was doing before he had to go for his treatment for the cancer. He looked like a superstar down in the Championship. And if he's out of contract, and even if he's just looking for a club that's going to take him in with world-class facilities and just see what he can do when he's back to full fitness, back to firing, back to hopefully stronger than he was before, because he's been through so much adversity now. Just a bit of a feel-good story to end on and an interesting one to discuss, because I think he is going to be out of contract. Only 24 years of age. Looked like a superstar before the unfortunate diagnosis. Back now, and I hope he's going to come back stronger than ever. And I'd love to see him get a chance, even if it's just sort of like a training contract to start with. I'd just love to see that in football nowadays. And my fellow Aston Villa fans, that is the video. If I had to list my top 3 free agents who I would love Villa to sign from this video, I'm probably going to go with Eriksen being my number 1, Belotti being my number 2, and then I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to be a bit controversial. I'm going to say Gareth Bale as my number 3. I don't think Bale would happen. I think Eriksen is realistic. I think Belotti possibly could be realistic, although I know some top Serie A clubs have been sniffing around him. Hopefully his loyalty to Torino means that he wants to move outside of Italy. There are a few on here that I've just put in to be a bit controversial because they are free agents and just want to hear your guys' opinions. But please, guys, I implore you more than ever to comment down below your thoughts on these 10 players that Villa could sign. Leave a comment with all of them. Let's get a healthy discussion going. Let's try and get this video to like 100 comments. Let's just bang it out, guys. Let's have a good community discussion in the comments down below. If there's anyone that I've missed out, throw that down there as well. But as always, guys, like the video, subscribe with notifications on. I will see you very, very soon. Up the Villa. I'm out.